in our Facebook community, and it's about one we have in our program that we use to help you all track your success, help you plan out your big vision. So, a 3-year vision, 1-year goals to that vision, and then more practical action steps towards that. So I kind of just want to go through some of those things with you, Ariel. So I'm going to pull up your question here.
Okay.
Let's see if we're live in the group. Yeah, it says we're live. So hi everyone. If you're here, just say hey. Let us know, like, I don't know what you're doing while you're watching this. So here we go. Ariel put her blueprint in here, and we'll actually screen share the blueprint so that way you can see what it looks like, everyone that's watching. So definitely you want more guidance on, how to do specifically, you put this week's game plan. And then you put, with the 90 days and the 3 years, so you kind of have like questions on each of the quadrants. So let me just pull it up here. I'm gonna show this in the stream, and I'm gonna hide us. So this is not your example, or that's just soloed Ariel. This is an Ariel's example, but this is, an example that we show to our clients. And so you can see, maybe can't see the bottom half for some reason. Is it showing the bottom part, Ariel?
I see a little bit. You just scroll down, so I see that, but I don't see this week's action steps, which is, I believe, the second page.
Okay, that's okay. So how this works is, let me just break it down a little bit, and then maybe I should be able to fill in some answers for you. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, beautiful. So how this works is, the goal with this is obviously to plan out your big vision. So a lot of us have, a lot of visions. We're visionaries, we're very creative, and we have a lot of inspiration, and that is not always practical or rational or realistic, right? As we're kids, we have big visions to do all these things, and even still now, life causes us to want, a baseline of things for ourselves, but also to have, a biggest desire for yourself, right? So like your minimal and then your maximum, which is always fluctuating, but there's always your minimum, which is going to be baseline. And so what we want to do is basically create an actionable game plan so that you're confident in knowing, hey, this is my big vision, this is what I want to create, and this is how I can create it step by step. And the point of this is, like, if you're trying to create a business or some type of lifestyle, or any big masterpiece, your magnum opus, which I'll get into a little bit more what that means, but you're like a greatest life achievement, if you're trying to create something and you don't have a compass, it's like sailing from, New York to Ireland, and you need that compass. Otherwise, if you're 1 degree off of, where your initial, destination is, then you're going to end up somewhere completely different, right? So here, the goal is to dream big, right? And to think small and act even smaller. And that is a quote by Jeff Mannion. That's actually one of his books. So, that's something I would definitely, it's a good read. I would recommend reading that book. But you can think of your magnum opus, it's your greatest life achievement. So there's, Ariel, I would want to ask you, like, what is your magnum opus, or do you have some type of idea that you want to create? For me, there's people who create music as their greatest life achievement, or pieces of art or whatever. For me, it's getting notifications. It's creating this program, helping people really create a passion-based business that they're soul aligned with, and helping other people, and being able to market that and then be free of time and finances so that we can do what we want when we want, right?
Right.
So that's one of my things. That's not my magnum opus, though. My magnum opus is to one day become a life coach, and I understand life through 11 different lenses and of the human being, right? So there's like our relationships and communication, there's like our fitness, there's our nutrition, there's our sexual life, there's our creativity and our spirit and our emotions and all these different aspects, right? So I want to eventually like master these over my lifetime and then create a life coaching program that helps people through all these aspects, because I don't believe like you can just have your business fulfilled and then, you know, there's still all these other things going on, so it doesn't create that whole being, you know. So that's my magnum opus, but obviously I just can't create that at once. So I've had to use this blueprint with, I've changed the number. So like I have my big 30-year vision, and then I've broken it down to like 10-year and then like 3-year, 5-year, I broke it down a lot more. Which you can do, like you don't have to stick to these 4 quadrants. But for the sake of just doing just your business, this is the 4 quadrants. So then I would ask you, Ariel, what is it like? What is your magnum opus, or like what are some pieces to that that you really feel resonant and passionate and that like you might regret not doing, you know, at the end of your life? Like what is it that drives you and that you really want to help? It's helping people. I know that much, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I like how you said you have like a 30-year vision and you break it down from there. I felt like really confused, not confused, but I didn't really know what to do here, because I know there's really great different perspectives that I can, like, I know I can achieve so much in 3 years, but I actually really want to go to school and I really want a lot of passive income, you know, within the next few years. But after school, I really want to have my own business and have a franchise and stuff like that. But that's not even something I feel like I can even think about. So, so I think it's important to like break it down from like large and then go smaller. So when I was creating this blueprint, when I was filling it in, it is better to potentially like start up at the 3-year mark, or even greater than that, and then move down to like the 90-day game plan to the week's game plan. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. So I'm gonna
Like
I'm
think big
gonna like
first.
build off. I'm gonna build off of that. This is how Olympic athletes, you know, actually, like this is important. I'm gonna take this note. This is how Olympic athletes plan to win the Olympics, right? Their coach says, "Hey, so today, right? It's right after you just crossed the finish line, you know, in 3 years or whatever. I don't know how long that is that they're doing, but you know, it's that time. But you crossed the finish line. How are you feeling? What are you seeing? What are you thinking? What do you have? Like, you know, what did you win? And then, you know, a day right before the gun went off or the signal went off, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Then the day before in the locker room, what were you doing? A week before, a month before, you know, and then a year before, what were you doing to prepare for the Olympics? Okay, it's now a week from today, right now, we're back here. What are you doing to prepare for that next year for the Olympics to win? So you definitely want to always reverse engineer. That's how this process works. And it's good that you picked up on that.
Thank you.
So yeah, absolutely. So, and that's why I bring up. I think it's important for me to, you know, when addressing this in the future, to state that first, and then It's about getting into, because this is like a vibrational game, and we all have. Life has produced within us big visions and big dreams. We just have to be willing to go there, and then, you know, start believing it's possible. And for me, in order to believe it's possible, because I'm really analytical, I need to create step-by-step action steps today. I know that this, like what I'm doing with you, is building to that dream. One of my dreams is to create 100 world-class leaders by 2022, right? And so I'm doing that right now. We're doing this with you. It's great practice for me and you. You're part of this community and everyone here watching. And so I know that everything that I'm doing is aligned with that. And so I am confident. I already know, like, I'm doing what I need to do. There's nothing about it. But that's the point of this exercise. And so I do want to help it. I want to help you first tap into that vibrational reality where you're living your highest, most abundant self in all areas. We'll definitely do that. We're going to keep it business, you know, type
Okay.
now. And then I'm going to help you reverse engineer it and make it more practical. But what I want you to do is, you know, outside of this, your exercise would be to like lay down, do some breathing, and really envision your daily life, how this looks. and what that looks like when you wake up, who you're around, what you're feeling, what you're doing, what you have, and what you're striving for, even at that point, maybe, and really just get into it and be that future self, right? Because there's so many potentials of future realities that we could have. There could be this reality where you don't do this exercise and you don't do this blueprint, and then you never learn these strategies and you never learn these things to get there. But we're not going down that route. We're going down the route where you're going to go closer and closer towards your magnum opus, your dreams, and that reality that you want to be. So does that all make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to do you want me to, I can dive back into the blueprint actually here and break it down a little bit more, or did you have a question for me before I do that?
We can dive into the blueprint. I need to redo this blueprint. I'll repost it as a screenshot, but also I'll make it into more of a vision, because I really see so much more than 3 years, and I really want to break it down and be way more specific. For the 3-year vision, it was really hard for me to just get even into the mindset of I can make $50K a month. Like that that means I had to think so big, and that was just really hard.
What is it? What can I ask you? Like, can we dive a little deeper into that? Because there's 24 money abundance blocks that we all experience, and I'm working through them. And you're triggering one right now. What is it is it just because for me, I needed to see the math and know I just need to do, after all these years, I know if I just do this and that, and if I serve 10 clients at $10,000, I can a month, then I can have $1 million business, super easy. And I'm already well on that path. So what is it for you? What's your math? I guess what's your sacred math? But then also based off of the services that I was offering back then, I couldn't do that because I was offering one-on-one services. I need to show up 8 hours a day, all day, and I was only charging $100 to $300. And so that just, with those numbers, obviously it's not going to get me there. So I had to go through a mindset shift and a business shift, which we're going through with you now. So that way we can, position ourselves to serve people at a higher level, solve a deeper problem for them, longer lasting, and charge, what they believe it's worth, what the market says it's worth, and what it's worth, which is priceless. The problem that we're helping you solve for people is priceless. So, with the priceless math behind it, you can scale that. And then me hiring millionaire coaches that are ethical and already doing this, have been doing it for 10 plus years. I know it's possible. And, check out, I can give you some names, check out my coach, Alex Jeffries, check out, Carolyn Soldo, Power Team International. There's so many people you can check out. Amanda Francis.
Yeah.
Check out Amanda Francis. Amanda Francis. So it's real and it's possible. It's just so what do you think for you stopped you from believing, 55K was your ceiling? Or
I feel like there's a lot of limitations. What does that even mean? What that means I have, a whole list of new services potentially, and I can't even grasp what I would be doing. I mean, that's why I'm here. But yeah. and in that the big 3-year vision, I said a lot about passive income, and that's what I want. But I don't even know what I would do for that.
Okay, so those are two things. So let me address the first thing. So what does that look like? Do you in your field, because you do fitness, right? So in your field, are you aware of people that are already millionaires that are kind of doing what you want to do?
Kind of,
or that make 50K.
I really don't know. I want to say
that's your homework. That's one of your homework is to research. We always ask you all. We're going to be asking you this in the future. Is to know the top 3 people in your space.
Okay.
Right. And it takes time to find them, and that's fine. But find them on YouTube. They're going to be making probably content. You can find them on Google. There's Facebook groups. There's so many ways to find them. You'll find them. You'll attract them. Just start doing that. And you should know at least the top 10, maybe start expanding it, but just know the top people in your space and get that vision of how, watch what they do, watch their everything. They're
Yeah,
going to
well,
tell you how they got to where they are. Watch their business model, watch, what they do with their schedule, watch, their marketing, everything, and don't copy them, but like definitely get a vision of what they're doing and what's possible for you in your space. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. A few people popped in my head, but it's not necessarily the same because I don't really, I moved from fitness into body work. Like I can't legally call it massage, but it kind of is. And then also self-defense. So that's like my true passion, and I really like educating people
Okay.
on that. And so that is hard for me to think like who actually does those things. And I'm sure there are, but not exactly what I do. So I need
Okay,
to
so I'm sorry. So you said body work and martial arts?
yeah.
So there's definitely what kind of body work?
Well, I would actually like to create my own name and trademark it, but for now, it's like active.
Uh, I'm sorry, Ari, you cut out.
Oh, that's okay.
You were
It's
blurry.
oh, that's okay. Yeah, so the body work I do is similar to active release therapy and then fascial stretch therapy as well. So it's like lengthening and stretching and stuff.
Okay, so then this is when we're getting deeper. This is your technique and your tool. So then what we're going to help you do in module 2 is figure out what is the problem that people have that solves. So I'm going to ask you this first, give me your best answer. Do you know the biggest, most painful, maybe most expensive, most life paralyzing problem that your tools and techniques, being the martial arts and this body work, that it solves? Like, is it debilitating back pain, or is it like, what is it?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but the first thing that comes to my head, I do need to do more research, but it's more like avoiding surgery or avoiding pain or like avoiding like chronic
Oh,
illness. And I don't really know. I need to
that's
like
huge.
combine some things, but that's the first thought.
That's huge, and go down that route. Those are
Okay.
keywords. Like, I want you to rewatch this video, and those are keywords that you want to look up. Sorry, we have someone who I think commented. Oh, Lauren. Thanks, Lauren. You look up those keywords, right? Because what you want to do, because the thing is, like, I don't see how those things, because how much does it cost to go in for a session for one of those things?
You mean with me or like surgery and all that?
No. Well, first of all, that's a thing that you need to add in. Write that down. How much does surgery cost? Because you're saving them that much.
Right.
First of all, so that's one. That's you should be minimum at that price, and then you don't want to base your services off that, though. There's more to the equation, which would be that problem that you're solving. So if you're saving someone from, there's so many problems. What were the few you said? Chronic illness.
Yeah,
What
like
was
chronic pain, like jaw pain and neck pain and migraines and
what go deeper into that? So what happens if they experience that pain over a long time? How is that gonna just
yeah.
what's
Well, if
their
that
nightmare? What's their nightmare?
yeah,
That's
it just
the word.
perpetuates long term and they become a hunchback and then they have
That's it. Sorry. That's a nightmare. I mean, it's not that. I think that all the time. People think that. Like, I don't think it all the time. I work on my posture, but
yeah.
like that is it. Bam, ding, ding, ding. So what you want to do is your another assignment is to write a list of their nightmares, and you don't
Okay.
want to like just talk about their nightmares all the time, but they're thinking them, and you need to like help them be heard. Like, I hear you, your nightmares. We're gonna avoid all that. Right?
Uh-huh.
And people, how the bigger the nightmare, the more they're gonna pay you, right? And if you do like something like a package, right, the more nightmares you solve, the more they're going to pay you. And this is when we start building your signature solution, where you have 9 modules that solve 9 different nightmares. You know, you're the solution, and then there's that one big thing that you solve them. You know, go from this to that. And does this make sense? As you're shaking your head?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm excited to do more research and like figure out more like keywords. But I'm happy those thoughts popped up right now.
Okay. Yay. I'm glad that this was able to help you and really see, you know, and then you can start building numbers off of that. Like I'll just quickly, you know, show you this blueprint here. This is how you start filling in the blueprint in your, you know, in your 3-year vision. If you want to make $1 million, you know, you need to be doing a specific amount of things. So the math breaks down over here. You know, we need to be doing, by year 1, our profit needs to be $100K a month, which means we need to have 20 clients at $5,000 each, or maybe 10 clients at $10,000 each, because you know that surgery, you know, you're going to save them $10,000 worth of surgery. So just with that, not even talking about humpback syndrome and all the other things, you're going to, and, you know, being able to be out with their family and not be stuck in the house or in a wheelchair, because that's what everybody wants, and we'll pay for it, right? You can charge $10,000 for that, maybe $5,000. Maybe you feel more comfortable with $5,000. Then you get 20 clients, which is what we help you do with marketing, and you can, bam, there's your 100K. Or you can do half that. Bam, there's your 50K.
Totally.
Does that seem a little bit more reasonable and practical?
Yeah, it seems much more reachable. I just need to really like break it down and look at everything that I write and just make sure that it really feels like in alignment.
Brain dump. Definitely brain dump, soul dump.
Yes.
And Google those key hashtags, YouTube, find those influencers, right? And then, you know, then you're going to break this down more, you know, in order to make that profit of 100K, what products do you need to have? What services do we need to have? We just talked about that, right? How many of those do you need to sell? We just talked about that. And then the next thing would be the 90-day game plan in this quadrant here, right? The next 90 days, you need to be working on the wealthy wellness system. So a quantified action for that below would be, you know, on this date, I'll work on this module and I'll record this video and I'll finish it on this date and I'll schedule to upload it on this time, right? That specific, right? And then for number 2, you need to build your online group. Maybe that's what you're going to start doing. We teach you to do that in module 5, so you don't have to worry about doing that now, unless that's something that's pressing for you. Then you want to get that community built. Like if there's people that, you know, you have an audience. But for example, you know, you would have to research how to run a profitable Facebook group or how to run a successful Facebook group. By when? By next Friday. Bam. That's simple, right? So
yeah, that's a good explanation, because I didn't know to match up the essentials with the quantified action. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. Sorry to cut you off.
No, thank you. Match up the essential, I'm taking notes. The essential projects with, you know, quantified action steps, which mean actions, which means dates, record, launch, upload, you know, schedule, these kinds of things. And then you want to bring that over to this week's action steps, which obviously is why that's blank is because you're going to put a sticky note on that. So you're going to print this out and hang it up. If you can't, that's fine. Then if you can't do a sticky note, just do it in your in the Facebook community, your MITs. Your 3 most important tasks that you need to complete would be this week's action steps. Or just get a sticky note and write them down and put them somewhere up by your desk, right? Somewhere where you see them and you know this week I'm working on these things. And then the same thing with daily. If you want to, you know, do a daily, I don't know how you organize that. I think we have a weekly planner training in the course or in the program, maybe in the Facebook group. If not, then let us know. If you can't find it, we'll create one. But that just get really detailed, and I'm sure you get it, you know, you understand how to get detailed. So that's how you reverse engineer from this big airy fairy realistic but juicy, you know, valuable, childlike, innocent, wanting, and desire that's been created from our life of abundance to actualizing that with daily steps.
I love that so much. This is such a great blueprint. Can I ask you some specific questions about my 90-day plan?
Please.
Okay, so the 3 essentials, the wealthy wellness system, and I put to complete what I can to complete it, and then I put a certain date. I put August 1st because I wanted to complete a lot of things by then, but I think I need to be more specific with the exact, with specific modules of completion. But after that wellness system, I wasn't sure exactly what to put. I know what I need to do for the week specifically and stuff like that, but I put networking, like checking in with people, staying accountable, making sure I'm on task.
Yes.
And then like asking questions. And growing my email list. I mean, I know that I think that you say that isn't necessary, maybe, but I didn't know what else to put, and I thought that would be.
It is something you always want to be doing. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Oh no.
So could you break down your question for me one more time?
Yes. So I wasn't sure what to put for 3 essential projects. I know it's finishing modules, so wealthy wellness system, networking, like just checking in. So the second one is staying accountable with people. I think that's good. I don't know if that's good enough for a 90-day plan.
Okay. So you need some help. Like, what are some projects that you're kind of asking? What are some projects that you should be working on and focusing on, right? So
yes.
So I guess the wealthy wellness system, you know, it's the one and all package. So we give you what you need step by step.
Right.
So what you could do is break down. We do have a tracker that I can send to you that tells you about how long each module should take. So that way you can kind of so what I would recommend.
Sorry. I didn't know if I should put more stuff for WWS or if I should put like more like RE fit like this. Oh, okay.
I know that's kind of vague. So it's kind of open for you because some of our clients are running like they're doctors. They're running businesses, right? So they have a lot of important projects that they need to work on, like for, you know, legal and financing, or just for like their building, right? Mm-hmm. So for you starting this, I would try to fill that with wealthy wellness. And also I would fill that with research. So you break down, make a list of the things that you need to research. Like make a list of things that you feel like, you know, like for example, that came up, like, I don't think I can make more than 55 realistically doing this. Anything that comes up like that, make a list of those and research the opposite. What I mean, what I mean is like research a solution, or like try to challenge it, right, through online research and finding like, hey, are there people doing this? Like, how is this possible? I literally found I'm here now because I researched how to never work for somebody ever again. Right, I was pushed to that, and then I was like, okay, how to become a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, I can sell a bunch of products. I was a product-based business selling like crystal stuff, and I had a whole store of healing. And I was like, how does do a passion-based service business, right? And life kept pushing me to Google these things because I didn't believe that didn't believe I could have a business I was happy and passionate about. But I had to Google how to do that, you know, and then I found people that were doing it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is possible. How are they doing it? And I just studied them, and now we're here, right? So that's the kind of study you want to do and research. And they don't teach this in school, right? But this is the kind of stuff that's important for us to move as spiritual beings or energetic beings and release a lot of those beliefs and blockages, so that way we can manifest the business and create what we want. But you know, also it's just really important to do, this work. So,
So true. Thank you.
so I would fill that in with research. Even if you said networking, that's crucial, especially during this time. So that's a good thing that you put in there. Showing up consistently, because we're going to help you with showing you ways, because we're going to build your funnel. The first part of that funnel is social media and Facebook ads. So with social media, start with that now, right? Because that takes time. Facebook ads, you can kind of control. It takes time to build that data when you're new to Facebook. But when you get to that point, like right now, we can switch it on. We just switched it off. We can switch it on. We just switched it off. So
Right.
right now, work on building your social media, and what you can do is just show up consistently. Whether that's once a week, once every 2 weeks. What do you feel like you could commit to showing up? And we'll help you if we have actually a thing, a workflowy of bullet points of a content matrix. So that way topics like 31 things that you can go face on live on Facebook or Instagram and talk about. And they're really good and diverse. So that way you don't end up with blank video staring at myself.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes where I just can't get an idea for the day, and then I feel like, I'll do it tomorrow. So that's good too.
Write that down. As because I've said we'll give you a lot of things. Write that down. Remind Kai and Lauren to send me content matrix, and there's even like a template of how you want to outline them and things like that. You don't have to go balls to the walls crazy right now, doing all that. Right, if you can just show up once a week, like you did, like I see you making videos.
Yeah, like in general, or like going live, or just like posting, just like keeping the momentum.
Yeah, consistency though. So choose a day and a time where you're gonna frame your lifestyle that you're integrating into around this, right? Where you show up no matter what, you don't miss a day, and you post, whether if it's just a quote, an affirmation, something. And on Facebook you can I don't know if you can schedule them actually.
Only on a business.
Yeah, so anyways, like you can do that though. So that's just your commitment, and when you put that energy out there, you're going to build that audience. People are just going to show up for just seeing your quotes, just seeing your thing, and they're going to be like, oh my god, yes. And then you're going to build that trust, like, and love factor, and then they're going to click on your stuff. And when you have a bunch of that happening over time, like, you're going to be able to create that flow of consistency through content.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm on a roll with that, so I'm happy. I just really need that consistency, because I'm not, like, sometimes it's happening. It's in the process. So
yeah. So what can you walk me through, like what you're doing right now? Do you have time? Just quickly walk me through what you do, and so I can help you give some tips around that.
Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm only promoting my 3 classes, so my workout classes, which are just 10 a.m. It's 30 minutes. It's on weekends and Wednesdays. So I'm just promoting that, but to me, I'm just promoting it a lot, because then people sign up and I get their email and it's automatically added to my email list.
Okay.
So that's what I'm happy about. But I like doing it, but I'm not good at marketing it. So literally, there could be 0 people or there could be 5 people, and it just depends on how many DMs I send.
Okay, so wow, yeah, I hear you. So that's the thing. So with marketing it, there's a few things that come with that. The first thing I would want to get clear on is, how are you marketing it? What are you saying? Like, what is, like, can I pull up your Instagram? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, what is, are you doing a post with like text saying what? Let me see.
Yeah, it's like, don't miss out. I don't even know. I hate thinking.
So it has to be compelling copy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, right? So for example, one of our clients, she posted, I don't know if I can get this right. Her name's Melly. She's amazing. She's really great. She posted in her IG, she was doing, I don't remember. It was some workout or fitness thing, or maybe it was, I don't remember. Melly,
no, she did it Monday. Wednesday, or every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like 7 or 8 a.m., and then another one at 9 or something.
Yeah,
For fitness, right?
She does. Yeah, let me see if I can see. She does like fitness things, and the copy she was using was like something like, for example, like booty sculpting, right? No. That's actually a good one. Sorry. Sorry. It's like breath work class Thursday at this time, right? That is not compelling. As compelling as what we changed it to was heal your trauma drama.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I like that.
And so what you're doing is you're talking to those nightmares. Did you write that down? A list of my nightmares?
Yeah.
Right? You're
Yeah.
talking to those nightmares and you're saying like there's little problems within those nightmares too. And you can address those. You can solve a smaller, urgent, a quicker problem for them, on these things. So that you'll have a matrix. Right now, we're helping you create 9 modules. Within those 9 modules, you can have 3 little problems. And so you have 27 topics to talk about, right? And then you have your one big topic to talk about. So you can break it down like that, when you get there. But it's about the copy. So you want to target a problem and heal or overcome or eliminate or say goodbye to, or words like that people are going to respond to because they obviously want to overcome them, or those words work. Or you can heal, you can use those kinds of words, and then you want to address the nightmare. So overcome humpback syndrome, or what is the word, repel humpbackism. I don't know. And put a humpback wear or something. I don't know. That's terrible. But that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So you get it. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that also depends on research on what they pain is regarding being a hunchback.
You cut out. Right.
It also has to do with talking to them and using their words.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can
so
hear.
Finding the right wording for a class has to do. Finding the right wording has to do with researching what the ideal client who should be coming on, what their wording is around the topic.
Yeah, so
does that have to do with
go
research?
ahead. Yeah, so what I'm gonna, good job. You're so good. You're way ahead of most people. They're just guessing. We're just guessing. That's the best we can do. So I'm gonna show you a foolproof way to bulletproof your marketing, right? And it's by using their words to help them, not against them, right? So I'm going to show this, and I'm going to solo this in the portal. You're going to get there, so don't jump ahead too much. You can sneak peek, and since you're filling in things to do and you're doing research, you're good. That's why I'm training you on this right now. So this is an example of the blueprint. So there's a blueprint examples document, right?
Yes.
Cool. So in that blueprint examples document, you'll see these examples, but you have the blank blueprint as well. So for example, let me see. Let me find an example, maybe that's too pain. So you can use this sheet in order to interview your market. So you can print this out and send it to them, this blank blueprint, and say, hey, could you fill in these 4 quadrants for me, please? Or you can get them on a live and do it for them live if they feel comfortable doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You can host interviews, right? And what you want to do is fill in these 4 quadrants, but the main quadrant, and all your content can be around these quadrants.
Okay.
And so your research that you want to know is, and you also want to know, up here, their biggest avoidances, resistances, and objections. You know, people will say, oh, I'm not going to do this with you, Kai, because of technology, it's too complicated. Or I don't believe in investing money because I don't have money, right? And so there's all these objections and resistances that you want to know, and you want to talk about these in your lives and, you know, all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so does this make sense on, you know, how you can do more research? Oh, where'd you go?
Can you hear
Does
me?
this make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. And I have like I think that you're only supposed to have one avatar. I feel like I don't know exactly who that is until I do more research onto who like has those same values. Because I know people who have paid me, but I'm pretty sure they're not like my ideal long term people. And the people who are long term and my ideal client, they haven't really paid me yet, but I know that's who I really want to serve. So I think I need to do research on both, like to figure out like where they're at.
Yep. We go into that in good job. You're on the right track. You're doing great. It's all diving deeper into that. That's your work, is to just dive deeper into these things.
Okay.
And so definitely you want to find an alignment between into this, we dive deeper into it in the program as you go through it. But something that people will pay you for, right? What are people paying you for? Like, hey, you're good at this. I will pay you for this and I'll pay you again, right? And then it's like, what are you passionate about doing? What would you do for free if, you know, you just got $500 billion and you didn't have to do anything except you just had to do one thing over and over and over that was service-based to keep that money, right, from disappearing? What would you do, right? Or, you know, what would you do for free? What is your passion? And then there's a middle point between that, right? And you know, what are people paying you to, and then there's another intersection in between that. I don't know if I can make that. What is the market asking for? If they're asking, you know, if they're in debilitating pain, if it's back pain that they're in, you know, you don't want to get to the point where, you know, they're so in debilitating pain where they need immediate surgery, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do is get to the point where, you know, you can help them. You know, you can help them, right? And so what you want to do is, I kind of got lost. I saw that.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry. I can do this. You can bring it back in. So
middle ground, right? Like,
yeah, is find that middle ground and, you know, target that and create content based on that. I'm sorry, Ariel. It's going to 40 minutes here, so I'm getting
10 minutes came into an hour, so I appreciate this.
Absolutely. Hi, Sonia. Sonia's watching it. She likes it. So is there anything, you know, let's wrap this up. Is there one more thing I can make? Oh, so, you know, with your research, add that to your blueprint. Okay. Do your research with, you know, these interviews. Where are you exactly in the videos? You're still on module 1, right?
I'm on module 1. I've completed it, but I'm redoing it. And good. Yes.
So you're getting towards module 2. So you're asking the right questions. Do module 1, and then, you know, do your research. We're going to teach you exactly how to do the research, right? Because you need your problem. You need your tools and techniques, which we talked about, right? You need the problem you're going to solve with those tools and techniques, right? And then you need who you're going to solve those problems for.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to teach you all those things step by step, just as you know. So just make sure you go through and do the work that we've talked about today, and you're good.
Thank you so much. I'm going to redo the blueprint for module 1, and then I'll repost it to the group. Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Kai.
Yes. Blessings and blessings.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.